All right, here we go. So welcome back to part three. So the video kind of cut up in the end, but the big four, Zapata, Villa, Carranza, Obregon, they got perfect. They got him out. Unfortunately, that was as good as it got for the guys as the alliance quickly apart. As their alliance quickly fell apart. Zapata, after all, Carranza and Obregon, they were pretty different from each other. Carranza was another wealthy northern landowner. He was a moderate in these things. Zapata only viewed Carranza for just as another haciendo who just was doing this for his own political gain. And sure enough, Carranza didn't really think of much of Zapata at all either. They did have a convention. It's not really mentioned here, but they did have a convention attended by supporters of all four. But it just didn't work. Zapata and Carranza just couldn't agree on anything. And sure enough, it led to full scale war yet again. I know I'm saying this, like, it definitely was more than what I'm saying right now. But either way, they didn't agree once again. Uh, Zapata was really adamant in getting the plan of Ayala to Carranza, but it just, of course, Carranza said no. So Zapata would order his army of the South now the Liberation Army of the South, to take Mexico City. And it was kind of funny because instead of just doing normal soldier things of assaulting palaces and violating women, and by violating, not very good, they would just ask for food and drink because they were just peasants. Either way, the Villa was also kind of screwed over by Carranza and Obregon, so they ended up and they made an alliance. Hooray! The two leaders promised to fight together until they got a new civilian president in the palace, and Villa would accept his plan of alliance. And that's them together. So, in the meantime, while during the war, Zapata was doing work of his agrarian reforms. He would spend time supervising the work of putting these things. He was making sure that there was no favoritism and the landowners did not corrupt its members, these new landowners. And he established a rural loan bank, the country's first agricultural credit organization. And he tried to reorganize the sugar industry and the cooperatives. But like I said, they were still at war. Zapata, using the tactics of old, they occupied Puebla, where my family is from, fun fact, and they did win various battles. This was 1914, 15, 16. But by 1917, Carranza's generals, they were able to defeat Pancho Villa, and this left Zapata alone. Because of this, Carranza, they ended up meeting for another constitutional convention. Of course, they did not invite Zapata, and the convention approved and passed a constitution that is still Mexico's constitution to this day, and Carranza was elected president. And there is one fun fact. Zapata actually had a lot of women in his army, known as soldaderas, and some actually became officers. They were in combat. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Carranza was now president. So Zapata would kind of just be a thorn on the side of Carranza, and sure enough, Carranza wanted him gone. So he sent one of his generals. So he sent his most ruthless general to get rid of Zapata once and for all. And finally, this plot worked. A colonel by the name of Jesus Guajardo would meet up with Zapata and he pretended that he wanted to switch sides. Unfortunately, that turned out to be just a distraction for an ambush. And on April 10, 1919, Zapata was gunned down, shot by a bunch of bullets, and that's him. And that is him. That is his corpse. So Zapata was gone, and that was kind of the end of his movement. And he leaves a pretty long-lasting legacy to this day. Unfortunately, I do not have the time, and I definitely did not explain everything in this video, but I hope you learned at least something in here. Anyways, I hope you had a good day. Oops, I apologize for taking this video plus 10. I'm using some kind of thing. And we'll just let it wait.